How's everybody doing? My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend my days in longing, wondering why it's me who's longing. I swear that I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it, it's hard to conceive it, how you turn away romance. Are you pretending it feels like the ending, unless I could have one more chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making? You see me here, ripe for the taking. I'll surrender completely. I'm all for you, body and soul. sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend each day in longing, wondering why it's me who's wronging. I swear that I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it, it's hard to conceive it, how you'd turn away romance. Are you pretending it feels like the ending? Unless I could have one more chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making. You see me here, ripe for the taking. I'll surrender completely. I'm all for you, body and soul. Hey everybody, what's up? All right, let me pause this backing track. Dude, this Superior Drummer shit is the shit for practicing. It's so cool. It has all these loops, jazz stuff. Hey Scott, if you have to choose between FB and YouTube, I'm really just trying to read the comments mainly on YouTube. So hang out with me there. Subscribe, hit that bell button. That's the shit. It's all about that YouTube. But hey Tommy, hey Nana, hey Fowd, doing good. How you guys doing? How's it coming through today? Audio. Hey Mama Peg. It's a nice song, isn't it? Yeah, I'm really into this Superior Drummer stuff. Nice loops. Let's see. Here's another swing one. Let's speed it up a little bit. There we go. Confessing that I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you. Honest, I do. Need you every hour. In your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny they're true. Will your answer really change things? You're making me blue. I'm afraid one day you'll leave me, saying, can't we still be friends? When you go, you know you'll grieve me. All my life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I need you over again. confessing that I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you, honest I do. Need you every hour. In your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny they're true. Will your answers really change things? You're making me blue. I'm afraid someday you'll leave me, saying can't we still be friends? When you go, you know you'll grieve me. Oh, my life on you depends. Am I saying that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I need you over again. All right. Let me answer some stuff. What are you guys asking? Tommy, my heart gets sad and lonely trying to connect different keys in melodic minor. Guess I completely surrender. It's hard to conceive it though. Yeah, that's a very nice adaptation of body and soul lyrics to frustration with practicing melodic minor. I dig. I see what you did there. Very nice. Baruch Spinoza, I suspect that's not your real name, but who knows? Thanks, Deacon. Can you play Blue Bossa? Fuck yeah, I can play Blue Bossa. Let's see. Can I find the Bossa group is the question. I know they have them. Let's see. Search. Bossa. Bossa. Latin Bossa Jazz. Medium Bossa Latin. Let's see. Oh. Oh, lots of comments since then. Sounding. Thanks, Deacon. I don't understand. Fouled, yeah. That's just the lyrics. Good pick. Hi, Abba. Recommendation for a rhythm book? I never did any music books. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. It's kind of like have to switch between strings, rhythms all the time. Yeah, you got to switch a lot. It's a lot of switching. Thank you. I bought my dad a pillow, and he put it in the washer instead of the dryer. Dad, is it drying? Is the pillow drying? Is it okay? Let's see. Let's check what the Facebook people are saying. Facebook people, you should be on YouTube. YouTube.com/MarbinMusic. I have to switch to read the Facebook comments, and I don't like it. So switch over. I'm gonna. Greg, what's going on, dude? But yeah, come over to YouTube. YouTube people, I'm back with you. Thank you, Holly. All right. It's kind of like you have to, yeah, when you're playing changes, you got to constantly switch in your mind. It's a challenge. But, drummers have different kinds of challenges for sure. I love this. How killer are the drum sounds? It sounds like real fucking drums. It's unbelievable. okay, Foud had a comment. I remember Satriani's drum machine on the early album, really expensive at the time. Yeah, but listening back, it sounded fucking crazy bad. Played through the Rockman too. You remember the Rockman? That was all that fucking terrible sounding guitar thing. That what's the name of that band? Def Leppard. That's a Def Leppard sound. By the way, are you guys subscribing to the channel? You better subscribe. Gary, gorgeous. Oh my God, what a discovery you are. The last song you played was a standard, and dang, if I can remember the name. I played Blue Bossa. Before that, I played, I think, Body and Soul, and I'm confessing that I love you, all those. Francis, thank you so much, man. I miss you, and say hi to Lily. I think Blue Bossa, yeah, somebody requested Blue Bossa for sure. Negru, every day we're gonna hang out. I'm gonna walk you through school. The last one before Girl from Ipanema was Blue Bossa. Blue Bossa. Do you have any favorite fusion keyboard player? I hate keyboard players. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's like they're playing this instrument, like they're sitting down, you can see their legs. They look weird. No, I don't like any of them, honestly. I don't, Zawinul's okay, but I don't like his soloing. I mean, the textures are cool in Weather Report. I mean, I like Oscar Peterson. I like piano players quite a bit, but in fusion, I always feel like the keyboard players ruined everything with all their fucking synth sounds. Took this style that used to be basically like a version of like jazz and rock, like Mahavishnu. It's this vicious, people were playing like whirlies and making cool textures that were badass, and made it into Hawaii shirts and calculator watch music, and like porn shit. Just terrible. It's the keyboard players that ruined it. Marbin will never have a keyboard player. Do not need it. All the things you are. Sure, why not? What gauge do you recommend for Stratocasters? I play 11s. Some people are pussies and they play 10s, but that's okay. You gotta gauge it by what's comfortable. Yeah, I mean, Chicoria, may he rest in peace. His big contribution was popularizing the keytar, which is a strange contribution. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. Fuck these people, man. We've been handed inherited a world in fusion that is less than friendly. Like, we literally have to call ourselves jazz rock just to draw a distinction between that and all the fucking porn music. You know what I mean? It's pretty bad. Like what bands like the fucking Yamaha DX7, like the sound, like listening to a fucking, what's the name of the band? Like Yellow Jackets album. It's like sounds of the world. It's like this weird hybrid between jazz rock and Beverly Hills Cop. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Wiki Mulia. If you have questions about a specific line or want to know what you do on any part of the song, let me know and I'll tell you. That's the best way. Different strokes for different folks. Embrace the differences. Listen, man, I'm a musician and I make new music. They don't tell you this, but a lot of what defines you is what you hate. What you hate about music, because then you don't do it in your own music. So you got to embrace the dark side. You think that these motherfuckers that you like were saints? No, they're just lying to you if they're really positive. They're just all a bunch of liars that hate a lot of things because they clearly don't do a lot of the things they hate. So that's the real secret, you know. It just reads well when you see somebody like in New York, like a Wynton Marsalis show. It's like, everything's great. Everybody has their own thing. It's like, yeah, sure. Can you teach us jazz chords most often used? Let's see. I'm using a bunch of stuff to talk about. So my technique has a bunch of things in it that just kind of happened through the years. Everything intentionally, but just it's a mishmash because I've been playing for so long of all these techniques that you acquire. So the gypsy stuff teaches you a lot about economy picking in one direction, meaning from the thick to the thin strings, right? If you're playing one note per string, and that's kind of like the most recent addition to my bag. So if it's three notes per string, down, up, down, down, up, down, right? But I used to play closer to the guitar, like a Frank Gambale style, with controlling the dampening with my right hand, which I learned how to, over time to not do. Now, economy picking the other way, up, down, up, or little sweeps, right? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. There are little exercises you can do. Find a pattern, find one pattern like that's 1 or 2 beats long that works, and make yourself an etude. That's a really nice way to not get bored from it. I'm not an exercise kind of guy, but like here's a nice one. Like this one starts with an upstroke. It's a C chord. That's the pattern. So up, down, down, down. That's just the C major arpeggio, starting from C, and then you go down a major scale. That's one that's pretty. Those kind of lines. That's something that would be nice to practice, right? Let's see. My favorite keyboard solo is Gary Husband. Yeah, Gary Husband. I know Gary. We used to open for Holdsworth every time. We were the opener for Holdsworth for like a 30-day tour in 2012. But we also opened. That was with Virgil on drums. But we opened for him with Gary in Chicago, 2000. I think last time we played here, 2014 maybe, 13. I don't remember. But yeah, he's a good keyboard player. There's pros and cons to every style of picking. So what you need to really, when you're choosing the way you're going to pick, you need to choose it by sound, not by, or, a big part of the sound is how just kind of imitate the people you like. So when I was growing up, the people I liked the best were like Sean Lane, Frank Gambale, Alan Holdsworth, Scott Henderson, and that's already a lot of different things. So that was some sort of combination between high gain legato players and people who got a smooth sound out of the guitar. I never liked El Di Meola or John McLaughlin, or at least I didn't idolize them in that way that I wanted to imitate their technique. That to me, the sound there's no articulation. It was too ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, right? When they played notes, and I was more interested in not so much Indian type articulation where you do it by the groupings, like that's what like John McLaughlin's going for. I was interested in vocal type of articulation, or horn-like articulation, which is really what all these guys do by various means. So, economy picking is something that throws off the accent pattern from just alternating, right? Alternating can have a very two kind of feel. Think about picking like playing drums with two sticks and two hands, downstroke and upstroke. So if you're constantly going and you develop a technique that's really even like that, that's okay, but you're going to have to find some sort of very intentional way to accent, as opposed to just kind of letting the picking patterns randomize a little bit, like ta 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 ta. That's really what economy pickers and sweepers do. That's cool. Like there's an internal syncopation when you're playing the same subdivision. Let's say it's 16th note. Da 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 da. So it's cool. Centrifugal funk was certainly shred. Yeah, that was Brett Garcid, Frank Gambale, and Sean Lane. that was the good stuff. That was one of my favorite shits growing up. It just would blow my mind. Oh, still does. I mean, it's like fucking Sean Lane is crazy. I mean, I can take it in small doses now. So that was one question. Savage Burn, LOL. Switched from guitar to keys because I sounded way more musical on keys. I agree, though. Switch back, Matt. You have no business playing keys. Keys are for mama's boys. You need to play guitar like a man. I saw you open for Holdsworth and Reggie's 2014. Oh, cool. Jeff Florber, dude, that guy is like, it reminds me of the music you hear at your fucking dentist. It's pretty bad. Sean Lane was indeed a monster. Is John Mayer one of the best players of today's era? I just find like rich, famous people like a part of a different game. I don't even think about them as a part, like, you know what I mean? I talked about it yesterday, but I just saw that Bruno Mars and forget the name of that drummer that was on Tiny Desk. They have a band together and they have that hit. And their experience is so unrelatable. Like you know what I mean? Like, which supermodel am I going to fuck today in like the bubble bath? And what kind of filet mignon are we going to have for dinner? Like, I can't relate to on any level. Like, they're a part of a music industry. I've been on the road for 10 years. I haven't even seen hints of it existing. So I don't know. Like like that sound of playing with toys that are just available to them. Like, I felt this when I listened to a John Mayer album, and it's just so beautifully recorded and just sounds like millions of dollars. I'm like, this is like a different sport, a different area. Like, I don't care. Like, you have a wall of dumbbells. So it's just so unrelatable. Fucking rich bitches. But yeah, I mean, good for him. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't listen to that kind of music. It doesn't interest me. I think you're right about the sound. Thank you. I think I'm right too. How do you approach when improvising over changes? Well, that depends on the change. I play what's in the changes. So I play the modes I play the modes that are in the chords. But to answer your question, John Mayer is very good at guitar, obviously. You know, just gets a great sound, and he's very talented, plays good grooves. But yeah, I don't know. I was never interested in pop, even when I was a kid. I first got into metal, and I would fast forward past the entire song to the guitar solo. I wouldn't even care. Like, it was like Megadeth and Metallica, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was tape at the time and CDs. But like, you know, just like, and then here I get to be like 2 minutes 30. Perfect. That's where the song starts. That's all I cared about. I just did not have a palate for that, and I do now. But I don't know. Still more interested in just people letting loose and playing the shit out of their instruments. That's really what gets me. I just people who are trying to be tasty and minimalist. I'm just I don't know. I always feel like they're trying to sell me something. Do I like? I wish Van Halen didn't have vocals. Well, you can fast forward a lot of it. You know, it's no longer online. I think Kurt talked to the website to take it down, but I had a public fight with Kurt Rosenwinkel in 2012 where I made him. He's such a douche. I can't stand him. He's a really piece of shit, garbage human being. And we were opening up for Holdsworth in 2012, and he didn't like our band so much that he came up to the manager and tried to get us fired in the gig, and the manager loved us, so it's just like, what are you talking about? But it's like, Alan should not be subjected to listening to this band, and we're like, oof, this fucking hipster is really intense, you know? It's like, chill out, bitter guy. But yeah, I cannot stand him. But then I got Facebook chatting with him that like a few months later, after it was 2013, after we released Last Chapter of Dreaming, and he was in Germany or wherever he was living, and I got him to like listen and chat with me to the whole album, and the whole time I was just talking mad shit about our music, just intense, just ripping into us. And I was just like, egging him on because I thrive on negative attention. And that went on for like hours. It was like 3-hour chat, and then I posted it, and he got really upset. And it was on for years, but I think they took it off now. Thoughts on Greg Howe? I do like Greg Howe. I grew up, especially Greg Howe. Greg Howe, the first album, love that shit. Good shit. Yeah, that's true, Scott. Touche. And it's true. I mean, he did hate us, and I'm sure he hated us authentically and with a passion. But it's that's a two-way street. I feel like there are too many guitar players that are building their technique around playing fast. Well, playing fast doesn't mean anything if it's fast with a bad sound. So if you can play fast and get a great sound out of the instrument, more power to you. I mean, I think now the problem is a lot of people, trying to be minimalist, but they're just doing it out of insecurity because, you don't have to work hard and you can just play slow. But this is the thing. I mean, playing rhythm is like a palette of color, but a painter doesn't, you could be a painter and look at the color blue, right? And you see the color blue and it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I'm just going to paint a whole canvas blue. And everybody's going to understand how beautiful color is. But you're not an explainer of the natural world and of colors. You are a composer of images. So the problem with minimalism, a lot of these people kind of try to put you in a meditative sound, mindscape where you hear a ninth. On a chord, and you're supposed to just take it in but they don't own that shit, you know what I mean? That stuff's public domain, so you need to have interesting rhythms and ability to put things together, to me. That's how I see it. Do you like Tal Farlow? I always thought that he was very sloppy. There are players like that, I don't know, there's a lot of archtop players that just, I always think, man, there's so much slop in the takes. Let's see. Talking about bad music. Ever heard Mexican banda? No, I never heard that, Ordell. Yeah, Greg Howe is pretty badass. Must admit. Thanks, Dylan. Nice groove, huh? As for now, I am just sick of alternate picking. Well, yeah, you gotta, I mean, I think the tricky thing is you gotta find picking patterns that have, you gotta start thinking about phrasing, right? And about phrases, but not licks. So it's kind of like catch and release fishing. Imagine your way forward, like, what are the chords? I'll show you in a minute. So when I mean catch and release, I mean the problem with playing licks is that if you just learn licks and play them, you're constantly in an anxious mind space looking for where they fit in the music. The problem is we don't count music in a way that lets us insert things that we know. Or we just become a douchey kind of player, just like, okay, where's that G7? Right, throw it in. So you don't want to do that, but you do want to play good phrases and work on good phrases. So if you just think about the guitar like a 6-drum drum set, E, A, D, G, B, and E being the drums, right? Boom, 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 right? And you have a downstroke and an upstroke. Really what you're doing, sweeping is kind of like dragging your right hand across the drums, and upward sweeping is going the other way, right? To-do-do, boom-boom-boom, right? Imagine they're organized kind of from high to low. To-do-do-do-doom, do-do-do-do-doom, right? So a sweep could be like do-do-do-do-do-do, right? You actually want to play. You want to make the sound. You don't want to be in this kind of like tiny right hand position that's not making any tone. It's just like drumming. Right? Put it down, put it down, right? Put it down, put it down, put it down. That's the way to think about it. Right? Brilliant. Who thought about that one? How can you afford to buy so much gear with the money I earn mostly from playing music? We used to do great before COVID, and now I just sit on a pile of gear. But this guitar was given to me. It was by a great fan in Texas. All right. I think my old guitar teacher told me something similar while working on rhythm changes. He told me to try to solo like a drum. Right. That's a great thing to do. So the chords I played Summertime. I played a G minor. I mean, that's all G minor to me, just G Dorian, G minor 6 for 3 measures, G7 altered for 1 measure, C minor 6 for 2 measures, and then a 2/5, A half diminished, D7, back to G minor 6 for 3 measures, and then a 2/5-1 to B flat. So half a measure C minor 7, half a measure F13, B flat major 7 for 1 measure, half a measure A half diminished, half a measure D7, 1 measure G minor, 1 measure D altered, and that's the form. So, summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Daddy's rich and your mom's good looking. And everything else was just built off that, kind of an extension of that. Rhythm changes. I got rhythm. Where is Baldy? I miss seeing Marbin together. Oh. Danny, yeah, he comes here every week to record the podcast. By the way, are you guys hip? Are you guys listening to the podcast? That's the funniest shit in the world. The last episode was so fucking funny. We were talking about how we are going through, as in live music and infusion, what the porn people went through, like moving from VHS to streaming. They, like all the porn stars, were, going through that same loss of capital, like the musicians did, going from CDs to Spotify. Pretty funny stuff. It's called Music Real Talk with Marbin. You guys have to at least listen to the last episode. We have like 25 of them up already. Yeah, rhythm changes is a bitch to play. I see a lot of people crashing on their face. Yeah, we were talking about how like the guys in porn is basically like it's basically like bassists, because they really want the gig, and they don't, they just feel lucky to be there and be paid. And a bass solo is like the 70s like ass balls shot from behind that like nobody wants, but everybody thought it should be a part of the music for like a second. were the late '90s the last good era to sell records before free online music? I don't know. I'm not that old, but I didn't start selling music till 2009. And we just missed the golden rush of iTunes. iTunes was a great way to make money for independent people. It really probably was the most profitable period for the indie artist, because really the overhead of producing music in the 90s, you had to be a big company to just press the stuff and have the distribution deals. But when you could just make, when home studios and small studios were at a place where you could just make albums, and iTunes allowed you to just get like raped by 40% as opposed to the 80% or 90% that a record company would take. It really opened the door for a lot of people, independent people, to make a lot of money. Like I know some guitarists that were making a lot of money just selling their own shit on iTunes. So that period between CDs and, I mean, CDs were definitely the most money that was generated in music history for sure. But for to go directly to the artist, it was probably like downloads, selling downloads. That was probably the most lucrative, if I had to guess. By the way, Facebook people, I know you're watching there too and commenting, but I can't read your comments unless you go to YouTube, because it's streaming there too. So youtube.com/Marbin Music is the main stream. Hit the subscribe. If you guys aren't I know a lot of you are subscribed, but you haven't hit the bell. Hit the fucking bell. Yeah. Let's see. What is your least liked style of guitar that you're willing to play and dabble in? I mean, I don't know. I don't really dabble in too much stuff I don't like. The whole Nashville thing never appealed to me, like playing with like chicken picking and like a compressor and going for that like super shreddy rockabilly stuff that, you know, I don't know, somehow I never thought that was hip. And also like very New Yorky jazz, like, you know, I don't like I saw a Ben Monder arrangement last night actually of and it was beautiful. You know, he's a great player in his own right. But something about going down that rabbit hole of hipness, to where it's really, you dedicate your life to hipness. It's like, dude, like it just looks like it takes a toll. They all look really gray at kind of an earlier age and really depressed. At a certain time, you just need to groove and play well and have fun with your instrument too. You know, too deep. What's the best way for you to transition beside practicing? Do you break down chords and I don't understand that question's Acid Pop-Tart. I love your name, by the way. Come on over, Facebook people. Great over here. Yeah, it feels great. The water is wonderful. How are you getting your tone when you're playing with your Suhr? I run it through, at home I run it through my Suhr Badger into my pedal board, and that's my tone. I used to speed pick, but do you strike or do you do it in strum form? What's the best way for you to transition? You have to redefine that question, Acid. I'm not quite sure. Acid Pop-Tart. I love your name. It's a great name. So maybe rephrase that question in a way that I can understand it. Can you show how to approach covering two strings with one fingertip on a major 6-like chord? Oh yeah, sure. It's not strength, because when you're playing these chords, you're always pumping. You're almost never holding them down. And if it's an issue, maybe your action's a little high. This thing is mainly the issue for gypsy jazz players. So what you really want to be able to do is play a power chord with two fingers, right? Bass note here, and this finger covering that portion of the power. You do it by pressing exactly in between them to where you get one string groove on, can you see that? On the tip and one on the center, right? And Or you do it with your thumb in this finger. So I would practice both if you can't get a power chord with these two or with these two. Those are the two positions. So mostly it's thumb and that finger. Let's see. What foods make you play better? Oh, yeah. Like transitioning from different chords to get the right ones. Not the best with music theory. Well, I mean, you can't get better without practicing anything ever in anything in life. There are times where you have practiced and you haven't made the connection to the thing you've practiced. Like the walk the dog video I put up. I tried it with students, and the thing is, like, it's for those of you who haven't heard it. I put up a lesson just how to swing, and it's just like walk the dog is the pattern. But the idea is that you've already practiced it by speaking, so you're making a connection in your mind to existing knowledge that's just applied to a different part of the brain, to language, and that connection creates an aha moment, and you can execute something. But I'm not saying that everything is pre-learned. That is false. It's not true. Thank you for the super chat. Hey. I love super chats. Very generous. I appreciate it. It will go straight to paying for our van. So anyways, the idea of that everything has a shortcut. It's not a shortcut, it's just a connection. So a lot of times you've got to ask yourself, if there's like a rhythm that you're struggling with, do I know a way of articulating it? But if it's like a grip with your fingers, it's just repetitively doing it. There's no shortcut there, right? So walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, right? Walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. That's a great thing to connect, right? If you're trying to get a quintuplet and there's like you just can't fit, you maybe go hippopotamus, 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 or whatever you want to do, right? Or get an eighth note, 2/16 note, linebacker, linebacker, quarterback. There's all sorts of like verbal tricks like that. But if there's a vacuum in your mind and you just don't have the skill and haven't put down the practice time, it's not going to happen. So no shortcuts, I'm sorry. I want to eat grapes and sound like Robin Ford. Well, you're going to have to ferment those grapes. Power chord is fine, but it's the index finger that does not produce the sound. Here? Well, it's probably not the index finger. It's probably you're not leaving enough curve here, and you're probably touching the back of the G string with this finger. So that's all about just finding the right angle to connect, right? So maybe just work on these. It's basically a G major grip played like this, right? Hey Danny, you're one of the only honest personalities online. Well, thank you. I'm not going to be online for long. They just kicked us off Instagram and erased our account. I tried to get it back. We never developed it too much. We had like 13,000 followers, which is more than our YouTube. And without warning, they just told us we're in violation of terms and we cannot get our account back. It's been erased. So there is no more Instagram/Marbin Music. So our days on social media, I guess, are numbered because, I'm spewing all this hate speech. Just calling Kurt Rosenwinkel a cunt, I guess Zuckerberg really likes New York-y sounding hipster jazz. What's your favorite OD pedal? Well, it will burst into feedback if I attempt it with this guitar. Let me turn the volume way down, This guy. This is sounds ridiculous on this guitar, but this is the Ultraphonics. I don't even have a bridge pickup on this guitar. But Don't judge it because of how it sounds with arched up with 14 flat ones. But yeah, that's the idea. I like this one. I'm streaming to Twitch right now too. It's a part of the thing, but I think we have one follower on Twitch. So whoever he is, he's getting all this content and it's blowing his mind. Let's see. I had sort of meant when I'm playing sometimes, I have a hard time figuring out what chords I can move into to blend them together. Do you have a method of things you personally do to not get stuck? Yeah, Acid. All right, Mr. Acid. Yeah, it's a great pedal. It's not the guitar for it. So let's say let's pretend that the situation we're dealing with is not a situation with moving harmony. Like I'm not playing, let's say, a Taylor Swift song, which I love playing, right? Not like a 1-4-5 or a pop thing. It's just A minor. And beyond that, it's A minor with a Dorian sound, meaning if you don't know what Dorian means, then you need to find out. But that's the second mode of G major, right? So it has root, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, and flat 7. The notes of the G major scale with A being 1. Now, if you want to have good chords to play, this is what all the fusion guys, Holdsworth, all these dudes do. Then you need to learn how to move things in the scale in similar motion. So let's say I'm just playing a scale pattern, 1 note per string. All these notes are in the string. Let's do something more basic, more familiar, like a G major chord. If I just take all these pitches and I just move them up on the same strings that they are, each one of them up the scale, right? I get all these chords. But let's say now I'm changing one of them to just create a more unique kind of pattern that's not so obviously a triad, like that sound over that A root. I'm just voice leading in the scale, meaning this string is playing, this string is playing, and this string is playing. But now I'm just doing it as chords. So you can always learn, you teach yourself how to see it. You take a shape and you move it up, right? Oh, sorry. And then you have vocabulary. Oh, sorry. Now let's say it's a context like that's what we call fourth voicings, where you just have stacking fourths in the key. But without knowing scales, you wouldn't know where to go. But yeah, if let's say I'm now strumming some funk. And I want to move these. See how all these chords have the sound of that tonality, right? That's the idea. When Twitch Creative first started, it was easy to get found. Because it's probably not in any of the categories. Try fixing your title on Twitch. I don't know the settings, but you can arrange the title to music or anything. Yeah, it's on music right now. But yeah, I mean, to deal with. I mean, we have 350,000 followers on Facebook, and our streams are getting to like 20 people at a time these days. I do not know what's going on. You know, it's very strange. This the shadow banning that we've been experiencing. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist in life, but it's getting pretty crazy. Such a cool room. Weird. I'll find a brush groove. Brush. Oh crap. Brush. This fucking software is the shit. It's so cool. Oh yeah, we gotta switch it on the drum set to brushes. There we go. Weird grooves. Loving this thing. The war against talent. Yeah. You feeling up for some aggressive hippies? Would love to hear that. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Yes, shadow banning does exist. Yep, it does. You mean? Now, let's see if I can find that kind of like 6/8 groove. Probably can. 6/8. I have too many grooves. Can't find anything. Jesus. Fusion. My God, they have fusion. Crazy. Not sure how to find this shit. 6/8. Yeah, I give up. I'll find it, but yeah. Danny, will ever get to jam with you? Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Heard Marbin for a second. I had to go walk the dog for real. Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta pack it up. See you later. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe.